service.
I didn't even have time to say goodbye to my poor baby. Mommy will be joining you soon. Mommy will join you.
Could you just calm down?
Give me my daughter back! Give me my daughter back! Give her back!
Your daughter's death was the result of your negligence as a mother. How could you blame us for that?
Well, good evening. It's 9 p.m. East African time. Welcome to KBC Prime Edition, bringing you the eye on the news this Tuesday, the 15th of March, 2022.
Indeed, it's the day when Deputy President William Ruto was officially endorsed as UDA presidential flag bearer.
All those stories coming up tonight, including these ones.
I accept your nomination to be the United Democratic Alliance party candidate.
Ruto, it is. United Democratic Alliance endorses DP as its presidential candidate. Rogue rider Zakaria Nyaora detained for 10 days as investigations continue. Brace for tough times. Kenya Transporters Association asks members to hike cargo rates.
Thank you very much for joining us on this live broadcast.
My name is Purity Museo at KBC Channel 1 News, at Purity_Museo at Mboya 24. The hashtag is Prime Edition. A very warm welcome to this broadcast.
And straight to our top story. Deputy President William Ruto has been formally endorsed as the United Democratic Alliance Party presidential candidate in what set the stage for his endorsement as Kenya Kwanza flag bearer.
Ruto, in his acceptance speech, promised to end what he termed as the state capture, as well as give financial autonomy to the office of the Inspector General of Police, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and the Judiciary.
JJ Curia opens our coverage tonight with that report.
Accept your nomination to be the United Democratic Alliance party candidate in this year's presidential election with gratitude to the Almighty God, recognition of the significance of this moment, and an acknowledgement of the work remaining and the road ahead to that day that we all look forward to.
Deputy President William Ruto accepting his endorsement by the UDA party as its presidential candidate. The event started by his formal endorsement as UDA party leader. The Deputy President has promised to revolutionize the economy once elected president by creating opportunities and empowering enterprises.
The next phase of our transformation was going to be the Big Four agenda, which would leverage these foundational undertakings to ensure that the economic and social rights of Kenyans would be actualized by creating jobs, for millions of young people out of school, out of college, and out of our universities.
Ruto promising to eliminate cartels, whom he claimed have been influencing public policy to benefit individuals.
Agriculture will be on the ballot in this election. Our competitors are the masters of monopolies. They are the agents of conflict of interest. They are the agents of state capture. And we must free this country and our agriculture from cartels and brokers.
He decried the ballooning debt levels in the country, pledging to work to ensure there is more revenue collection instead of resorting to debt.
Because what is on the ballot is either Kenya moving forward into prosperity or Kenya regressing into tyranny and poverty. The choice is as clear as day is from the night.
For the first time, the Deputy President launched a stinging attack on the Jubilee administration, claiming it had abandoned its promise to Kenyans after 2017 and instead prioritized the handshake, which he claims was a ploy to manage succession.
They have told us they will bring back the BBI monster because they want to create an imperial presidency. They want a president who controls the judiciary using the ombudsman.
While accusing some powerful people in government of using investigative agencies and the taxman, Ruto promised to give financial autonomy to the Inspector General of Police, the DCI and the judiciary, and to fully digitize revenue collection to cushion them from alleged political manipulation.
This country will change. On our first day, we will free the DCI. We will free the KRA from state capture.
John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
The Registrar of Political Parties now says that constituent parties cannot belong to more than one coalition, according to Section 7 of the Political Parties Amendment Act 2021. Appearing before the National Assembly Justice Legal Affairs Committee, Assistant Registrar of Political Parties Ali Abdullahi also submitted that coalitions cannot partner with another coalition unless they register as one outfit.
Political parties seeking to join more than one coalition have been dealt a blow after the Register of Political Parties submitted to Parliament that parties can only belong to one coalition.
Can you explain to Kenyans very well how these coalitions will relate to each other? Because they are in very high areas of political leadership. There's a lot of confusion.
Any party cannot be a member of two coalitions. You can only be a member of one coalition.
Further, two coalitions cannot coalesce to form one alliance.
There cannot be a coalition between two coalitions. So that we can have one coalition registering itself and another coalition registering itself, and then they combine to form a grand coalition. What we are observing around is that there are political discussions ongoing. There are negotiations ongoing, but at the end of the day, if any coalition is to be registered with the Registrar of Political Parties, then it must be a coalition of political parties.
This comes as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission proposed to have timelines for the submission of party membership list to the electoral body reduced to 90 days, as opposed to the current 120 days, a move they say will see those who lose in party primaries barred from being independent candidates.
So that it is in line with the timelines for one to become an independent candidate, and there is no window for a person who loses in a party nomination exercise to then become an independent candidate.
You can restrain from joining another party, but you can't stop him from removing himself from one party and becoming independent. And I thought, besides of that, why is it coming up again now? What has changed? We
think that creates double standards and double benefit. It denies a person the opportunity to move from one party to another, but affords a person an opportunity to move from one party to be an independent candidate.
The committee has since directed IEBC and the Office of the Register of Political Parties to provide final submissions to the Political Parties Amendment Bill number 2 before it tables its report to the plenary. For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Mongai.
Let's move now to education. A candidate sitting the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination in Kakamega County died as the exercise entered day 2. According to family, Boniface Shivuto, who was undergoing treatment at Malava Hospital, died shortly before writing his mathematics paper 1 exam, as Zainab Said reports.
As the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education theory examinations entered the second day, a somber mood engulfed Mavusi Village, Malava constituency in Kakamega County following the death of a candidate. According to the family, the 20-year-old Boniface Shivuto had been admitted at Malava Hospital for blood cancer treatment.
Kabla mtoto wake alikuwa afanya mtihani. Hii asubuhi walimletea mtihani karatasi ya kwanza. Walifanya chujini afanye, lakini haikuwezekana. Mtoto hakuwa na nguvu ya kuamuka afanye mtihani. Sasa waliamua warudishe mtihani huko, ngojea akipata nafuu ndio akuja afanye, lakini hakufaulu.
Shivuto's death bringing to 2 the number of students who have died since the start of the examinations. On Monday, Victor Kipkoech, a student in Kericho County, collapsed in a classroom. Monitoring distribution of the KCSE examination materials at the DCC's offices at Kenol, Murang'a County, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha urged students to maintain the highest level of discipline during the examinations.
In Kajiado this morning, we have successfully delivered the exams to all parts of Kajiado. The issues we had yesterday have been resolved. Exams have also been delivered to all other areas where we would have considered there would be issues.
This as the government continues to assure students across the country of their security during the examination period.
All the learners are sitting exams in their schools. No school, no center has been moved because of insecurity.
On Tuesday, candidates sat the mathematics paper 1 and English paper 2. On Wednesday, the students will write their English paper 3 and chemistry paper 2. For Prime Edition, I'm Zainab Said.
And a section of ODM aspirants in Mombasa are demanding that forthcoming party primaries members led by Mombasa gubernatorial aspirant Suleiman Shabal, the leaders claim boardroom selection may not be a true representation of the people, saying they are ready to square it out at the ballot.
It was a busy political day for the residents of Kisauni, Mombasa County, as ODM aspirants pitched camp. They are campaigning for their positions ahead of the forthcoming party primaries. Led by Mombasa businessman Suleiman Shabal, who is eyeing the county's top seat, the leaders declared their preference on the mode of conducting the nomination process. They opposed consensus and the scientific approach, saying they may not represent the true situation on the ground.
Tuko tayari kabisa, na wale ambao wanalalamika wanalialia waambie na wao pia wajipange, kwa sababu mara hii tutahakikisha viongozi watachaguliwa na mwananchi na haitokuwa kwenye boardroom. Hakuna mambo ya kukaa kusikizana.
Elsewhere, Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi has dismissed claims that he has dropped his bid for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. Wanyonyi termed the reports doing rounds in social media as cheap propaganda by his weak rivals. Already, Wanyonyi has been cleared by his ODM party to vie for the city's top seat after he submitted his document to the National Election Board.
Nimejitokeza, Westlands imenikubalia niende, ODM imekubalia nichukue, kwa hivyo mimi ndio candidate wa nini? Wa ODM. Sawa sawa? Jubilee wachipange, tutakutana.
Meanwhile, KCSE Senator Sam Ongeri has ditched the ODM party. Ongeri, who is eyeing the KCSE governor seat, joined the DAP-K party.
Let's keep our eyes on politics. The Kenya Kwanza alliance appears to be taking shape, with more parties and politicians joining forces to beef up William Ruto's chances in the August presidential contest. Mwangi Kiunjuri and businessman Jimmy Wanjigi were among some notable faces that have now declared their support for Deputy President. Nancy Okware with the details of the unfolding game plan and what it means for the campaign.
The United Democratic Alliance Party on Tuesday held its first ever delegates convention with over 5,000 delegates in attendance. The Kenya Kwanza Brigade receiving a boost with leaders including Jimmy Wanjigi of Safina, Mwangi Kiunjuri of the Service Party and Moses Kuria of Chama cha Kazi among leaders who graced the NDC.
We are talking. But it is important to understand my ambitions are still going forward.
You know that if I give you my confidence and trust today, you can lock it, go wherever you want to America and come back. I'm a dependable general.
You have liberated us and we owe you the debt of gratitude for liberating us.
ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi supporting the move by UDA to endorse Deputy President William Ruto as its presidential flag bearer, saying that Kenya Kwanza was best suited to deliver the country and salvage the economy.
We are here to say we stand in solidarity with the decision that has been made by the UDA party in putting forward their best foot forward today as their flag bearer for the position of presidency in the Republic of Kenya. Serikali itakuwa ya Kenya Kwanza na tarehe 10 itaanza kuhudumia wa Kenya vilivyo.
And I want to use this occasion, my brother, to tell you we will pay you in equal measure one day.
The decision made by UDA in the presence of all of us here assembled and the moving speech that you have made here defines you as different from them.
The United Democratic Alliance Party tasked Ruto with the responsibility of negotiating with like-minded parties on possible alliances ahead of August.
The NDC now empowers you to sit around a table with all your friends from other political parties to discuss, negotiate, and even enter into coalitions, mergers, affiliations, and alliances.
Across the counties. And Fiokware, Prime Edition.
And 50 young Kenyans will benefit from Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship that was inaugurated by the Public Service Commission PSC in collaboration with Emerging Public Leaders and Emerging Leaders Foundation. The program seeks to nurture young people for careers in public service with the goal of creating sustainable social impact.
Among the 50 young fellows, 24 are men and 26 are women. 3 among them have disability. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in a speech read on his behalf by Head of Public Service, Joseph Kenywa, called on beneficiaries of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship to be responsible global citizens, and he used the knowledge they gather to impact the society.
The Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program seeks to nurture, as we have also been told by the previous leaders, the next generation of sector leaders, public sector leaders, to transform Kenya's public service and make it more effective, ethical, service-oriented, citizen-focused and results-driven.
Former Liberia President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said Africa is the continent of the future and young people have a key role. Fellows will be empowered on public sector-specific leadership development, ethic cultivation, and citizen-centered government delivery.
To the already emerged leaders here, I hope you will make every effort to give these emerging leaders the chance, the space, the voice, and to be alongside you as together you serve.
Through this program, we're sure of injecting new ways of thinking and approach in government institutions that will ensure for all of us greater efficiency, greater transparency, and effect very useful and value-based public service.
The fellowship includes year-round responsive training, hands-on mentorship, community service engagement, and continuous career development support, including networking opportunities among Pan-African alumni. Beatrice Getonyenge-Tich, Prime Edition.
Well, the story on leadership brings us to our first break right here on KBC Prime.
We have plenty more coming up, including what's been going on the corridors of justice. Stay with us.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Ili kupata skiza tune ya Sitoki Jikoni kwenye simu yako, dial *811 *816 hash.
We, umeingiaje kwa hii jikoni?
Wewe wachana bwana, wewe ujui tulitokea wapi? Acha hata wewe toka hapa.
Wacha upuzi yako hiyo. Toka nje bwana.
Hii jikoni niko hapa ndani. Na nitakaa hapa ili make decision.
Wacha maneno yako bwana, toka nje bwana. Wewe unajua tulijenga hapa watu wawili hii jikoni.
Wewe kwa wakati nilikuwa naandikishana contract ya kufanya kazi kwa hii jikoni.
Wewe toka bwana, wacha
kupata skiza tune hiyo ya Sitoki Jikoni, dial *811 *816 hash.
Welcome back. Now, Zakaria Nyaora, most, if not all of you, know him by now. The main suspect was arrested over the assault of a female motorist along Forest Road over a week ago, has now been detained for 10 days to allow police to complete their investigations. Nyaora, who was arrested Monday in Esebania, that's in Migori County, will be detained at the Gigiri police station.
After days on the run, Zakaria Obadia Nyaora was arraigned on Tuesday. Nyaora was named by police as the mastermind of a chaotic viral video showing the harassment of a female motorist in Nairobi. On Tuesday, the Chief Magistrate Robinson Ondieka filed an application by the prosecution seeking to have Nyaora detained for 10 days. Investigating Livon Monzia told the court that the suspect is a flight risk since he was arrested at the Isibania border trying to flee the country. The suspect will appear in court on 24th March for pretrial directions. Linchalo for Prime Edition.
Elsewhere, hundreds of Kenyans will benefit from a multi-million cancer treatment and research center to be established at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. The center, which is being funded in partnership between the institution, the University of Manchester and Christie Hospital in the United Kingdom, will mostly focus on oral cell carcinoma, the most common type of oral cancer in Kenya. Here is that report. According to the Ministry of Health, at least 4,400 Kenyans die every year from oral squamous cell carcinoma, a malignant tumor that may occur anywhere within the oral cavity. The statistics make this type of oral cancer the most common in Kenya. It is against this background that researchers in Kenya have partnered with their United Kingdom counterparts to establish a cancer research and training center at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital in Nairobi to help address the cancer pandemic.
Together we're working on delivering the best cancer care in the world for all of the people of Kenya, a training, healthcare and education hub in Kisumu County, and work towards the President's Big Four agenda of universal health coverage.
We have already allocated space for it to help in understanding the causes and types of cancer in Kenya and the region, to understand the spread of the different cancers in the country and also in the region, analysis through immunochemistry machines to determine the types of cancer and the best medicine for each type of cancer.
According to the stakeholders, the goal is to achieve universal health coverage by ensuring that all Kenyans have access to affordable and quality essential health services they need without suffering financial hardship.
More importantly, we want to try to find out how we can now skew the prevalence of this cancer by interrogating people at an early stage.
As county governments, I'm going to ask that we call for a meeting which you will attend so that you talk to us and also tell us your referral expectations.
The Kenya-UK team leading the program has already been awarded 450 million Kenya shillings to spearhead throat cancer research.
Let's take you to Kisumu City, where residents of Nyalenda B Ward in Kisumu County Tuesday had a rare opportunity to engage with aspirants eyeing the seats in the forthcoming general poll during a convention that is set to be rolled out in all the 7 sub-counties. As Weekly for Ketch reports, the convention, organized by local non-governmental organization under the theme Know Your Leaders, was hailed by both the electorate and aspirants as perfect chances to deliberate on the pertinent issue in the area.
Know very well that I've been the de facto opposition leader of Kisumu County.
Being an electioneering period, aspirants eyeing various seats are doing everything they can to win the support of the electorate. In Nyalenda B Ward in Kisumu County, area residents and aspirants deliberated on the pertinent issues in the area.
Many people within our locality cannot even afford that transport to take him or her to the hospital. Just imagine that 20 bob that you can afford. Some people cannot afford. So we are bringing a framework that will ensure that the ambulance can liaise with the community health volunteers so that we take the sick to the hospital as early as possible.
Organized by 2X Empower, a local non-governmental organization under the theme Know Your Leaders, the meeting was meant to empower the electorate to make informed decisions in the upcoming polls.
Our intention is to basically reach out to the electorate and provide them a safe space to engage with their would-be leaders in the form of members of county assembly. So we expect that through this initiative, we will accord the electorate in the 35 wards of Kisumu County an opportunity to ask questions directly to the aspirants through debate.
We saw the real need, the extreme need from the electorates that they need to engage the politicians who are vying for the posts of MCA across the Kisumu County. So far we've seen about 620 MCAs or aspirants who are willing to get those posts from respective assemblies.
People need to be enlightened, people need to be made to understand the essence of this election and their role in this election.
The move was held by both the electorate and the various aspirants eyeing the Nyalenda B seat.
I think it was a good opportunity for me to share manifesto, share with them what I did when I was the MCA, and to share with them what I intend to do when re-elected back in 2022.
Today we are having a public participation forum, which is very important for our community. And I think seeing the people who are vying in front of us and actually trying to articulate looking at it's a kind of a vetting process, and then so that we can know their strength, whether they will be able to deliver within their mandates if they are elected as members of parliament.
This was the first of the deliberations that are set to take place in all the 7 sub-counties in Kisumu County. Reporting for Prime Edition from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okage.
And women with disability are appealing to the government to review the implementation of existing laws to protect and promote their rights and welfare. The women are decrying unfriendly public facilities for persons with disabilities. Speaking during a training to create awareness, they said over time they have been facing discrimination and mistreatment by conductors of public service vehicles and passengers, thus demeaning their self-esteem. Here is more with Mboya.
Women with disability are calling for friendlier treatment when using public transport.
Matatu zao kama wanaweza kuzimodify zikuwe disability friendly.
Displaying their displeasure, Christine Manthi, who is deaf, says several times she has been dropped off at the wrong destination.
Into matatu, they will tell us how much, so they use the sign to show us the price of the fare. So when you get into matatu and sit, then they change. They say now the fare is 100 shillings and not 50, and that brings a lot of issues, like we start quarreling and all that.
For those using wheelchairs like Benedict Munyao and with albinism like Jerida Mutinda, the struggle is the same.
Waliniambia wana waste time. Walisema wana waste time, waende tu. Nikatana wakaenda. Nilifeel vibaya cause nafaa kufika shule before saa 10. Shule pia wako na zao. So napata nafika late, wananiambia nirudi nyumbani ni Machakos, nienda Thika. So napata ni late.
With albinism, it becomes a bit a challenge, and especially when it is during sunny times. When you request somebody to kusonga because you can't actually sit on the site where there is a lot of sun, people tend to think you are just being proud. People tend not to see your disability. They are actually seeing it like you are proud, while in actual sense it's a challenge because the sun is burning you, and by the end of the day you get sunburns.
These challenges, they say, highlight the social inequalities in the country.
And this is going to be the beginning of a very relevant conversations between the public key stakeholders, the government officials, researchers and policymakers.
Ruth Wamboi for Prime Edition.
Women abled differently. Let's move on. Residents of Kathangariri location in Manyata constituency in Embu County have benefited from a one-day medical camp organized by the Kenya Tea Development Agency. Embu County Chief Executive Committee for Health, John Mukundi, said non-communicable diseases are on the rise, calling for proper prevention as well as control measures. Elsewhere, a section of residents and fishermen of Mkokoni and Madini in Lamu East County are up in arms over lack of power in the area. This and more in our county roundup.
It was a welcome reprieve for residents of Kathangariri location, Embu County, after the Kenya Tea Development Agency organized a medical camp to test and treat non-communicable diseases.
I know there are so many people who can sponsor medical camps. There are so many people who can also assist us in other areas. Kwa hivyo tunawaambia ni vizuri wakanje na waweze kushirikiana na sisi.
Elsewhere, a section of residents and fishermen in Mkokoni and Madina in Lamu are calling on the government to help restore electricity in the area.
Kaona ni mbali sana. Kutoka huko paka hapa ni distance. Sasa kina mama hawana tukutuku, hawana pikipiki, hawana chochote, wanabeba na mtungi kwa mgongo.
Meanwhile, the Teso community in Kenya has been urged to remain united despite the fragmented nature of the country's politics ahead of the August 9th general elections.
We should not forget that unity is a strength. And I'm confident that if the Tesos of Kenya will come together like the way they voted in 2017, I will appeal that let them come together. We pray for peaceful elections.
Finally, Technical Colleges Principal Secretary Margaret Mwakima has hailed technical colleges and institutes as the future drivers of the economy.
Our way of training within TVET is not for necessarily you looking for jobs, but for you to be able to employ yourselves and employ others.
Speaking at Siala Technical Institute in Migori County, Mwakima called on the youth and parents to embrace TVET institutions since most of them have churned out many professionals. Frederick Mwoki for Prime Edition.
Let's now cross our borders. The port city of Mariupol in Ukraine is encircled by Russian troops and remains under constant bombardment, with almost 400,000 people still trapped without running water, food and medical supplies quickly running out. Local authorities say the war that has left at least 2,400 civilians dead, acknowledging the number could even be higher.
Hundreds of people are crammed in the basement of a large public building in the besieged Ukrainian port city of Mariupol and are running out of food and supplies, with many in need of urgent medical assistance. People who moved into underground shelters are said to be permanently living there, as they practically cannot leave at all due to the war. The almost non-stop Russian attacks have turned the old neighborhoods in the city into wasteland. On Monday, about 160 cars managed to leave Mariupol in what seemed to be the first successful evacuation of residents, after multiple failed attempts, with the Ukrainian authorities accusing Russia of attacking the city and even routes to be used by civilians despite agreeing to cease fires. Humanitarian aid is, however, not being allowed into the city, with the deputy mayor of Mariupol saying things were getting more difficult by the hour. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition.
On County Fact File, it is among the few counties in Kenya that boast of the best sandy beaches, popular resorts and hotels along the Kenyan coast. Kilifi County, code number 3, also known to have mixed cultures, and is home to Mijikenda's 9 sub-communities. In tonight's edition of County Fact File, the focus is on Kilifi County.
Kilifi County, county number 3, is located in Kenya's coastal region. It is home to the Mijikenda's 9 sub-communities that include Giriama, Chonyi, Rabai, Digo, Duruma, Jibana, Kambe, Kauma and Ribe. With a population of close to 1.5 million as per the 2019 Kenya Housing and Population Census, the county covers an area of 12,000 kilometers squared. Kilifi County borders Tana River County to the north, Taita Taveta County to the west, Mombasa and Kwale counties to the south, as well as the Indian Ocean to the east. Kilifi County has 508,000 registered voters as per the 2017 Independent Electorate Boundaries Commission register, and has its headquarters in Kilifi town. The county comprises 7 constituencies, namely Kilifi North, Kilifi South, Kaloleni, Rabai, Ganze, Malindi and Magarini. The 7 constituencies are further divided into 35 wards. Amason Jeffa Kingi is Kilifi County's governor, serving his second and final term. Tourism and fishing are the main economic activities in the county, owing to its proximity to the Indian Ocean.
From Kilifi, back to 047 for a short break. Betty Kiptum is on the other side of the studio. And let's take a break and come back.
Experience a new history and setting of new records in Stark Arena from the 18th to 20th of March 2022 at the World Athletics Indo Championships.
Pretty tight out of the blocks, and Coleman now moving away. Christian Coleman challenged late there by Bromell.
More than 1,000 of the world's best athletes will compete for 96 medals across 24 finals during the 3 days of competition in Belgrade, Serbia. Kenya has a formidable team of 10 athletes, amongst them Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala. It is going to be a blast, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Mundos divididos por una sombra de traición.
And I also heard that you were looking for a Mexican partner, am I right?
We are, because the investors are looking for a reliable person who can help us in the construction.
You don't have any idea just how much I love Leonardo. And to be honest with you, you're the last person in the world who should be judged. If Leonardo's career gets destroyed, you only have yourself to blame, Mariela.
That homeless man did not kill Florencia. So how much are they paying you to find a scapegoat, attorney? How much? Did you have anything to do with my daughter's death?
Lying heart. Pues sembrando el veneno y la ambición.
Good evening, and thank you for staying with Prime Edition this evening. Time now to do the business news. My name is Betty Kiptum. Now, Kenyans have started to feel the impact of high fuel prices, with transporters adjusting their prices upward. Kenya Transporters Association has urged its members to increase cargo transport rates by a minimum of 5% in order to sustain their businesses. This comes as public transport vehicles hiked transport fares in light of the new fuel prices.
We woke up to new record high petrol and diesel prices. Yesterday, a litre of petrol was retailing at 129.7 shillings, while diesel was retailing at 110.6 shillings. However, today, Kenyans woke up to the new reality. A litre of petrol costs 134.7 shillings, while a litre of diesel is now retailing at 115.6, while the price of kerosene remains unchanged at 103.5 shillings. And various sectors have started to react to the new prices. The Kenya Transporters Association Chair Newton Wango has said the new price increase will affect transportation costs adversely, noting that fuel costs contribute up to 35% of total direct transport costs and indirectly affects other costs.
Kwa kweli upande wa bei ya kusafirisha mzigo bei inabaki ni ile ile, lakini upande wa mafuta umepanda. Kwa sasa inafika mahali mpaka tajiri anasema mafuta yamepanda, mimi upande wa pesa pia kupewa pesa inabaki ni ile, sasa mambo yanakuwa kutokuwa sintafahamu.
Public transport services have also warned of increasing fares to various destinations to cushion their profit margins. This comes as truck drivers complained about the high fuel prices, saying this is having a negative impact on cargo transportation in the country.
Bei ya transport haipandi, ni ile. Kwa hivyo inaumiza tajiri, mpaka unasikia rejea anakuambia yeye kulipa mzigo ni bei ni ile na wewe mwenyewe unataka pesa. Unaona? Hiyo inakuwa ni shida kwake. Hata atakusimamisha gari kabisa aiweke kando.
Drivers have said the cost of living is becoming unbearable.
I will not be using my car as often as I used. I'll probably just be depending on Uber or whatever taxis, and I'll definitely reduce my movements.
Hibak Saeed for Prime Edition.
And regulations governing digital credit providers will be gazetted later this month. The Central Bank of Kenya says this is expected to pave way for the licensing and oversight of the providers. Under the proposed regulations, unregulated digital credit providers will be required to apply to CBK for a license by September 2022 or cease operation.
For the longest time now, Kenya has been toying with the idea of regulating digital lenders as the country becomes a major player in the country's credit business. In December last year, President Uhuru Kenyatta approved changes in the law that allowed the central bank to regulate digital lenders, giving CBK powers to rein in lenders who violate consumer privacy. Speaking during the World Consumer Rights Day in Mombasa, CBK Governor Patrick Njoroge has said the market regulator is in talks with financial service providers to ensure fairness in credit pricing.
I've spoken to the payment service providers, explaining to them that they cannot charge whatever they want. Rather, we will evaluate and be sure that the pricing is fair and affordable for the customer. But we should also appreciate that with time, the prices will come down, the charges will come down. Why? Because there are actually more opportunities for customers.
CBK is further urging Kenyans against registering on financial platforms that are not regulated by the bank.
As happened, other regulators around the world followed our lead as well. And indeed, they have been very clear that for their population, they need to, they wouldn't allow it until additional measures are put in place to protect the population. Now, it's true, on the one hand, there are people who are anxious or excited about cryptocurrency because they see it as a sort of an investment that they can probably win big. In terms of, because the prices are often going up quickly, etc. So they believe that they'll get a huge return for their investment. And I think that's why we say, well, the problem is for every person that wins something, you have 100 that lose.
Under the proposed regulations, digital credit service providers will be required to put in place a working customer complaint system. The Act also empowers CBK to license digital lenders in the country as well as ensure the existence of fair and non-discriminatory practices in the credit market. The Communication Authority of Kenya has said it has put in place measures to ensure online financial service platforms are safe and secure to avoid exploitation of customers.
As the ICT industry regulator, the authority is charged with the responsibility of protecting consumers of various communication goods and services. This responsibility includes coming up with regulations and other safeguards to protect consumers of ICT products and services. And as such, we carry out education programs on consumer rights and responsibilities. This helps consumers to make informed choices from time to time. And of course, we handle complaints arising from consumer experiences in the ICT sector.
CS says due to the rising cases of financial fraud, counterfeit and con artists, there is need to regulate the content of service providers to enhance the consumer experience in the ICT sector. For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Now, construction of the Dandora to Kenyatta National Hospital bus rapid transit is expected to start in June. The corridor, known as Line 3, will be constructed at a cost of 46 billion shillings through Exchequer and European Union funding. Already, the design framework for the project has been finalized, with construction work set to begin mid-2023.
The government plans to launch 6 bus rapid transit corridors in Nairobi in an attempt to improve public transport in the larger Nairobi metropolis, which has a population of more than 10 million people. The BRT Line 2 that runs from Ruto to Nairobi Central Business District is currently under construction with a completion date of December 2022. The Nairobi Area Metropolitan Authority says Line 3 that connects Nairobi CBD with the populous Eastlands Estate will start construction in June this year. According to Namata, BRT Line 3 will provide a substantial improvement to the current public transport system in Nairobi by offering a green solution to the challenges of an efficient bus network. The 12-kilometer line is expected to cross Nairobi CBD, connecting hospitals, train stations, markets, while interfacing with other BRT lines. The line will cost a total of 37.3 billion shillings, being sourced from a mixture of debts, grants and exchequer funding. According to Namata, the project will involve the detailed design and construction of the bus corridor, as well as the construction of a bus depot, procurement and acquisition of zero-emission electric buses, construction of bus stops, and associated monitoring, ticketing and management facilities. Already, the National Environment Management Authority has issued a public notice for comments on the development of the proposed BRT project.
Now, Absa Bank Kenya pre-tax profit jumped 75.7% in 2021 to 15.5 billion shillings as the banking sector emerged from the fangs of COVID-19. The bank, which is a unit of South Africa's Absa Bank, reported that interest income grew by 8% to 32 billion shillings as a result of lending to small and medium enterprises. Total income from all business units rose by 7% to 37 billion shillings.
Absa Bank joins other commercial banks like Standard Chartered, among others, that are posting huge profit growth for 2021 as the sector is fast emerging from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic-induced lull. Absa Bank CEO Jeremy Awori says lending to the manufacturing sector recorded a 33% year-on-year growth, supported by the government medium-term inflation target of 6%.
And I think what's encouraging is we're seeing it's being fairly broad-based growth in double digits across the different segments, and with manufacturing goods posting a 33% growth, on a year-on-year basis. We're making strong progress, on these agendas, and this is a core part of our strategy, and will be reported on our sustainability commitment reports in the future.
The bank's assets growth registered a 48% jump from the 45% registered in 2020. Lending to retail and wholesale recorded a growth of 7% that was attributed to the fact that the default rate had significantly come down as a result of proper risk assessments.
If I go to the slide on risk, an important slide as well, and this is really testament to what we are seeing in 2021. We took quite a huge provision. When we did all those payment holidays, 62 billion, 30% of our lending book, it meant we could see a strain. And if you look at IFRS 9, it speaks to, in the first instance, where you actually get in default. And if you look at that one, on the side of improvement in portfolio quality, it means a significant portion of our customers are able to meet their regular monthly repayment.
Absa Bank's total assets jumped by 13% to 429 billion, driven by general lending, mortgages and business loans. The bank's shareholders will get a dividend of 1.1 shilling per share, which will bring the total dividend payout to 6 billion. Dutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Now, Kenya is seeking 3.5 billion shillings from development partners for climate change adoption in the agriculture sector. The government says the funds will go towards improving conservation agriculture to ensure there is food production throughout the year, despite frequent prolonged drought.
Last year, the country's food import bill hit a record high of 103.34 billion shillings, representing a 13.57% increase from the previous year. Agriculture stakeholders are pegging the increased food import costs to low production in the country due to climate change effects that has seen the country grapple with frequent droughts. The government now says it needs 700 million shillings annually in the next 5 years to assist farmers adapt to negative effects of climate change.
Extreme events like droughts and floods have resulted to devastating events leading to insecurity from resource-based conflicts, particularly in the ASAL parts of this country. This calls for all of us to urgently take appropriate interventions that support the sector to be more resilient to climate change.
The government plans to raise cash from development partners that will go towards creating resilience among smallholder farmers.
The connection between the twin challenges of ensuring global food security and addressing climate change has caused governments, development partners, organizations, and scientists to search for opportunities to address these challenges in a very integrated way.
Yes, we need the policy interventions, investment in policy interventions, but we also need investment into the actual technologies, into the actual learning that happens at the farm, so that at the end of it, the farmers are able to adopt the technologies and use the technologies to increase food production and also to build their resilience.
With the increasing fertilizer prices that may hit 7,000 shillings mark in the next few weeks, if no subsidy kitty is put in place, farmers have been advised to start conservation agriculture to produce organic food that fetch more in both local and international markets.
The dryland areas where with little rainfall, farmers adopting conservation agriculture are able to have stable yields and better yields compared to those that are not adopting conservation agriculture.
Players in the agriculture sector want climate-smart agriculture policies to factor in farmers' market linkages to reduce post-harvest losses that they say will eventually reduce the country's food import bill. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
That is all we had for you on business this particular evening, but of course sports news is coming up with Karen Kibet. Don't go too far. She's coming after this break.
Experience a new history and setting of new records in Stark Arena from the 18th to 20th of March 2022 at the World Athletics Indoor Championships.
Pretty tight out of the blocks, and Coleman now moving away. Christian Coleman challenged late there by Bromell.
More than 1,000 of the world's best athletes will compete for 96 medals across 24 finals during the 3 days of competition in Belgrade, Serbia. Kenya has a formidable team, 10 athletes, amongst them Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala. It is going to be a blast, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, the Kenya national athletics team that will represent the country at the 2022 World Indoor Championships will leave the country tonight for Serbia ahead of the event set to be held from Friday evening. The team of 10 athletes will compete in 4 disciplines in the Indoor Championship, which will be broadcasted live on KBC Channel 1 from Friday through to Sunday.
That's when we were pushing for enough.
National Kenya team for the World Indoor Championship to be held in Belgrade from Friday to Sunday will leave the country tonight. The 10 athletes forming the team qualified on merit of the Athletic Series events and are aiming to collect the maximum number of gold medals at the 3-day championship.
For us as Kenyans, we ride from 60 meters of Manyala, 800 meters, a group of Noah, and 1,500 meters, all through Collins. Everybody here is targeting gold. So where we are we might even we are fighting for gold, silver.
Coached by 2007 world champion Janet Chepkoskei, the team consists of 10 athletes with best performances this season, namely African record holder Ferdinand Omanyala, Igle Inalianya, Collins Kipruto, Naomi Korir, Jacob Krop, Noah Kibet, Edna Jebitok, Beatrice Chebet, Daniel Simiyu, and Abel Kipsang.
They're the most experienced athletes. They have been doing the indoor, and I have confidence in them. They are going to perform, and I'm expecting the best from them.
The team will arrive in Belgrade tomorrow and have a day's training session on Thursday before the event starts on Friday.
You've been training, so you're not putting pressure on yourself. It's something that you enjoy doing. We love running, so we're just doing this for passion. Everything else follows. No pressure from the fans, just out here to make the country proud.
The team yenye tuko nayo ni wale tulikuwa tumeenda for indoor na wamekuwa wakikimbia indoors. I think at least everyone amekimbia almost 3 or 5 competitions already in indoors.
The 2022 World Indoor Championship will be televised live on KBC Channel 1.
Thank you, Buckley, for that report. Make sure you don't miss out the World Indoor Championships, which KBC will broadcast live from 18th to the 20th of March. Now, moving on, the 2022 edition of the Lower Marathon, which is set to be held on the 25th of June, will be returning as a physical event for the first time in 2 years, having been held virtually last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The registration exercise for the annual event was launched today here in Nairobi, with over 1,000 runners expected to register for this year's event. Meanwhile, the event received 10 million Kenya shillings sponsorship boost from Safaricom, which will go towards preparation and hosting of the annual marathon race. The 2020 event was cancelled after the government banned all public gatherings and sporting activities in the country due to the coronavirus pandemic. The event regularly generates over 50 million Kenya shillings, which go towards numerous conservation, education and community projects across Kenya.
Is to deliver the same energy and excellence, but with a growing, or should I say going green theme, while still providing an exciting and exhilarating marathon experience. The Lewa Safari Marathon of 2022 aims to be the most environmentally friendly event.
We have been a title sponsor for 21 years. We'll still work with this in this journey with the Lewa team. But most importantly is to look at the impact this has played in the lives of our people. So it is participating, but for a cause.
Moving on, Kenyan professional Edwin Mundanyi won the inaugural edition of the Savannah Tour Golf Tournament, played today at the Muthaiga Golf Club. Mundanyi carded a round of 4 under par 67 to clinch the title, beating a strong field that comprised 35 professional and 15 top amateurs. Justus Mboya, Eric Oko and amateur Njoroge Kibugu tied at the second position, having each carded 2 under par 69. Sponsor of the tournament, Tafik Balala, said that the tournament is meant to provide golfers the opportunity to compete regularly and in the process improve their performance at major competitions, including the magical Kenya Open. Professional golfers of Kenya captain John Wangai called on more golfers to join the tournament, saying it was open to all. Those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight, but you don't want to miss out on the Champions League tonight, as the English Premier League side Manchester United will book a place in the European Champions League quarter-finals if they beat Atletico Madrid at Old Trafford in the second leg of the last 16 tie. The two teams played to a one-one draw in the first leg played in Madrid 2 weeks ago. The 20-time English champions have won 7 of their previous 11 round of 16 ties, but the match will be their first meeting with Atletico in England since November 1991, when the two sides played out a 1-1 draw in the second leg of the second round contest in the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. And also in another match, Ajax welcomed Benfica tonight after the two teams played to a 2-2 draw in the first leg 2 weeks ago. I wish my team all the best, Manchester United. That's all from me. Have yourself a peaceful night. My name is Karen Kibet, but the broadcast is not yet over, as I do hand you back to Tom and Purity for more.
Thank you, Marakwet. Kongoi.
And in the last 24 hours, the COVID positivity rate is at 0.2%.
0.2?
0.2%. Of course, that's a week.
Last week we were playing between 0.3, 0.4. Okay.
So that's, interestingly, that's a week after the CS announced that people can, remove their masks, especially in public places. Maybe it's working, but we are encouraged to put on our masks while in, indoor meetings. Yeah. So let's continue doing that.
Yeah, by the way.
And of course, let's get vaccinated.
And all those protocols. Okay. All right, we've got to go now. Thank you, Purity,
thank you. Thank you so much for watching Prime Edition this Tuesday night. It's always a great pleasure to have your company. I'm Purity Museo. And Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Once again, we'll see you again next week, God willing, Monday, Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.
And I'm Mboya. Bye for now. From Nairobi, Kenya. Good night.
Night.
Experience a new history and setting of new records in Stark Arena from the 18th to 20th of March 2022 at the World Athletics Indoor Championships.
Pretty tight out of the blocks, and Coleman now moving away. Christian Coleman challenged late there by Brumel.
More than 1,000 of the world's best athletes will compete for 96 medals across 24 finals during the 3 days of competition in Belgrade, Serbia. Kenya has a formidable team, 10 athletes, amongst them Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala. It is going to be a blast, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
DJ Cold Jazz in the game.
Okay.